I'll be asking, why do we cry when it's the onions that are getting hurt?
Hello everyone.
Welcome.
I'm Weronika.
And I'm Waldemar.
And today, at long last, I would say, we're watching some Philomena Cunk. Is that how you say it? Cunk? I actually have no idea.
I think Cunk.
Cunk, I think. A lot of you asked, actually, in the comments that we watched some of her videos for a while now. We didn't look for many videos, at least so speaking for myself, because we've seen a lot. I've seen a lot of compilations. We haven't actually sat down and watched the show. I think maybe one episode on Netflix. But we've seen a lot of compilations, and when I scroll through the apps that Waldemar doesn't scroll through...
Not together, it's not like we sat down and watched Philomena Cunk.
I think just one episode, like I said, but we...
on Netflix once we watched something.
Like one in the first episode, I think.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But she shows up on my Instagram, so sometimes I watch some clips.
The same for me, and we have a couple of jokes about King Arthur from Camelot.
Like a teaspoon?
Sorry?
Like a teaspoon?
Like a teaspoon, just a normal amount. And it's gold, so we know a lot of the jokes and we know them well. So it was very difficult for me to think even how to start finding a compilation where we wouldn't know every other joke. But this one I seen, and it's actually on the top of the list when you search it up, and it says Philomena Cunk on food. And I cannot think of any jokes. There was one about an onion that I don't even remember.
Yeah, I wanted to say Soviet onion.
Maybe that, but I forgot what it was about, but that's the only one that I can think of. So hopefully that means we don't know any of the jokes. We'll let you know, but...
So we'll watch this one, but don't expect us to watch more of her.
Yeah.
Maybe we can watch something if there is something new.
Yeah, or something short. I saw she's on a lot of podcasts. I don't know where to find it, but they're really, really funny. So if I'm able to find
but
it...
But as Philomena Cunk or as Diane Morgan?
No, as Philomena.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really funny. But ask her
she also plays in the Afterlife.
Oh, she does?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't watch the shorts too much for me.
But she doesn't play Philomena Cunk. Just a normal character. Alright, so are you ready?
Yes.
Let's see.
Was there ever a plan to give out free crisps?
I don't think they've ever given out or thought about giving out free crisps. Although I quite like crisps.
I love crisps.
I don't think many people would argue that you can't have a decent life without free crisps.
I think I'd kill myself if I couldn't have crisps. It was an apparently...
I'm sorry to stop right away, but I've never related to anything more in my entire life. I feel so seen. I feel so validated.
One of the biggest dramas in Weronika's life was when they changed the formula for the Lay's strong chili and lime.
Yeah, in Poland it was different. It was the best crisps you've ever tasted. The ones that you have abroad, they're inferior, they're horrible, and they changed it and they didn't ask me. They just changed the packaging, and I knew, I had a feeling when I saw the new packaging that they would have changed the recipe as well, and they have.
And they didn't say it before. They didn't warn you.
They didn't. And then I also ordered from abroad a package for myself of 24 packages of those crisps.
Yeah, from the German Amazon, because
they had the picture of the old ones, but they were not the old ones. I got a refund though, and they didn't want the crisps back, so I got 24 packets of crisps, which is nice, but then they were not the ones that I want. I got too much into it. I actually started crying. I mean, tearing up. Maybe I could be an actor after all. Okay.
Are you ready? Are you mentally prepared to watch?
Yeah. I will try to handle the emotional whiplash.
Irresistible spread, like Nutella. The Quran says, accumulating knowledge is a worthy act. So Islamic mega-nerds created the first universities and libraries, conferring all the world's knowledge, which at that point could probably fit into one pamphlet, to be fair. The ancient Egyptians thought that onions were medicine, but they're not. They literally didn't know they're onions, and that's where we get the phrase from. Of course, today we now know that onions are not a medicine. Onions are disgusting. Tudor feasts were huge and often included roast goose or swan or peacock, basically a big bird roasted whole. That might sound traumatic, but in the days before television, they didn't know big birds have a person inside. To find out more about Tudor eating habits, I spoke to food expert Jay Rayner. So what sort of things did Tudor people eat at Christmas? They ate things like peacock, didn't they? What goes with peacock? What kind of gravy?
There is evidence that they ate, very exotic things, but only that would have been the very, very richest people.
I suppose the best thing about them as well is that tail, and that's not going to taste of anything, is it?
No, that's purely for display. Yeah.
A Tudor Christmas, then, they'd have peacock, like you say.
No, I think like you said.
The royals had peacock.
I don't know how much peacock was eaten in Tudor days, I'll be honest.
How did that affect their bowels, what comes out of their back holes?
I don't know. I suppose if they were eating too much, it would have caused certain bowel issues.
I suppose meat, lots of meats.
Lots of meat
compacted together.
Can compact, yes.
And make sort of big hard stools.
It would have been uncomfortable, I imagine, but I'm only guessing.
But see, that would have been the first bit that I'd gone to if I was a food expert. The early farmers grew wheat and learned to bake bread. They also grew barley, peas and lentils, so they could have made a passable vegan burger to put inside the bread. But luckily, they didn't have to. Because they'd also invented this, the fence, a high-tech wooden machine for containing animals. Humans quickly enslaved sheep, chickens, goats, and their number one enemies, the cows. Farms became a lot like zoos, except, of course, in a zoo, you can't pick out an animal you like the look of and kill it and eat it, unless perhaps the zoo itself is struggling financially and the owner's lost all hope. The world's getting hotter, isn't it? But how can we stop ourselves from turning into steam? What do we do? Should we just start eating more salad and stuff like that?
It's certainly true. We will have to adapt to a warmer climate. And we will probably have to eat different things. Because
ice cream and stuff.
Well, certainly as the world gets warmer,
Probably going to be an ice ban, though, isn't it? So we can't have ice lollies.
I don't think so. It's not that bad.
Next time on Moments of Wonder...
There is this one politician in Poland who is famous. He's very, very, very right-wing. Like, he is so right-wing that your right-wing in America is basically leftist. Like he is the definition. And even PewDiePie has a video about him. And he was famous. He liked to say that the climate warming is a hoax. Mm-hmm. There is no such thing. And even if it is, then it's great because then we can all grow lemons and mandarins. So what's the issue? We can have who doesn't like mandarins, and then we don't have to import them. We can grow mandarins in Poland, and
I think it's clementines. I don't know if you can say mandarins. If you
there are clementines and mandarins, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, the small oranges.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
I'll be asking, why do we cry when it's the onions that are getting hurt? If we give starving people a load of money, how do we know they're not just going to go out and blow it all on food?
If you're dealing with something like famine, you're always dealing through an intermediary who will be making sure the right food reaches the right people.
Do you have to be careful about people that might have, peanut allergies? Because some people haven't tried nuts before, have they?
That's a very interesting issue, whether or not peanut allergies are a sort of first world problem. Don't know, what an interesting thought.
Thank you. It was a disagreement over money, basically. It's like the situation between me and my ex, Sean. When we used to get a takeaway, or takeout, as you call it, sometimes, he would always insist that we go halves. And yet he would want to buy things like onion bhajis, which he knows I hate, and they made his breath stink. So, but I had to pay for half of that. That doesn't seem fair to me. Does it to you?
Put that way, no.
No, and that's from a professor, Sean. How did Sir Walter Raleigh invent...
I wonder if it's scripted and how much it's scripted. I mean, of course, it's not like a live interview, but I think it's like she has a script and those people who she's interviewing, they don't. and they take like the best reaction, and I think often it's like the first reaction is the best one.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's scripted that much.
I don't think what they say is scripted, because it would, if it was, then all of them would have to be very good actors.
Yeah, and those are like normal professors.
Yeah. But I also always thought that all these people who agreed to do it, they must be really nice people. You know, that's like, you don't take yourself so seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that they get money for it, but it's nice, and it's like you can kind of spread knowledge a little bit through that. But it's I don't know, you that you're not so stuck up that you want to take part in it. Yeah.
The potato.
Well, he didn't invent the potato, in that I don't think anyone actually has ever invented a root vegetable, because they're obviously being cultivated and used by people living in the Americas when he arrived there.
When Sir Walter Raleigh first saw potatoes, was he scared of them?
I think that when Sir Walter Raleigh first saw potatoes, not that we've any documented records on the moment when he first beheld a potato or a field of potatoes, but I don't think he was scared of them. This is a buccaneering character, and I think that he probably was able to take on and manage his emotions whilst engaging with potatoes at first sight.
We still celebrate potatoes to this day by buying and eating them. It's amazing to think that Queen Elizabeth was the first British monarch to be impressed by a baked potato, and the last. What was the Soviet onion?
Well, I think you're labouring under a misapprehension, and you probably mean the Soviet Union.
No, it's onion. I saw it on a bit of paper earlier.
Well, that's probably been misspelt, or you can't read very well. But I think that you mean, in historical terms, the Soviet Union, or the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics.
I don't want to be rude, but I think you're mansplaining a bit. Can we stick to the topic of the Soviet onion, please?
OK.
What exactly was it? If you don't know, it's OK to say. I won't judge you.
Well, if you want to talk about sort of Russian Soviet vegetables, we can. I mean, it was a deeply agrarian country, and so there were lots of onions, lots of potatoes, lots of other things.
Did they have turnips?
Think so. Cheap, easy to grow, hardy, great in a stew.
So how come you know so much about vegetables? Have you got an allotment? Why can't we get medicine crisps? Because no one likes needles and everyone likes crisps.
Well, there's a thing called the risk-benefit ratio. So whenever we do anything to a patient, we have to weigh up the harm we're doing as opposed to the good we're doing. And there's always a downside. And if we had medicine crisps, I think the amount of carbohydrate and fats and salt we'd be taking in with the crisps would outweigh the good that's done by the medicine. So I think that's a very good idea.
It's the propaganda.
And like, if you had like Monster Munch, that wouldn't work as well as medicines.
Sorry, Monster Munch. Could you explain that to me?
It's like a puffy crisp. They're lovely. You can get like pickled onion and beef.
Right. Again, I'd have to weigh up the risk-benefit ratio of, what did you call the monster?
Monster Munch.
Monster Munch, mixed with the medicine. The bad it would do.
So serious.
Right. Hello, I'm Philomena Cunk, and this is my new range of pasta sauces. I've got wheat-free pesto, reggae enchilada, and jerk tuna, along with 35 other delicious flavours.
It's not gonna be good.
Oh yeah, I've got a book out as well. Conk on everything. Out November the 1st. Buy the pasta sauces.
That one's real.
I'm really proud of those. What was Renaissance? Was that a sort of 16th century ketchup?
Renaissance comes from the French. It's Renaissance, naissance is birth. So it was seen as a rebirth.
So it's not a condiment at all?
No, not as far as I know.
Okay. What sauces did they use back then?
So this is an area of culinary history I'm not very familiar with, the history of sauces.
Oh, so you're not the sauce person?
I'm not predominantly a sauce person.
We're going to have to rethink this whole interview. Why do I have to actually come and film this? Couldn't a computer just show it on the telly in the simulation? Or is that where I am? Do I exist at all? Why is this happening? Why isn't it just me eating a chocolate eclair in a loop? like in a GIF. I'd swap for that. Could you talk me through what makes a perfect Christmas dinner?
Once you've got the right people around the table, you need a light starter. If you give people too much to, which is
Not
really
prawn cocktails.
well, I don't know. If you a good prawn cocktail's a lovely thing.
I don't like prawns.
Do you know?
No, they're bottom feeders.
Okay, I tend to do platters of charcuterie, salami and ham and maybe some pickles and things for people to pick at.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have that? No? Okay. And then you come to the main event. So maybe a 3-bird roast or a roast goose, bread sauce gravy.
But I don't understand bread sauce.
It's a great way of making a really savoury sauce.
Bread and sauce are two completely different things, aren't they?
Well, they are, but you can grind the bread down and then cook it in milk to make a really good sauce.
It just
I
looks
wanna try
like
that.
sort of...
Yeah, I never ate it.
Cheers.
Of course, great posing, Waldemar. Great posing.
4 more seconds, you can do it. Yeah, that sigh was essential to the integrity of the video.
I wanted to say it, but I didn't have an opportunity to pause at the right moment. But you know what would be great?
Yeah.
Like an interview of her with Jordan Peterson.
Yeah, I want to see that. I think he would play along too. Or would you think not? Maybe not now, but like a couple of years ago, you know? Because now he's a little bit... Sorry, Jordan Peterson fans, but I think he's...
Yeah, a couple of years ago, that would be funny.
That would be very funny. But I don't think... I don't know what her... Like, she doesn't really have like a big political agenda, but if she had one, I don't think it would be the one that... Maybe she wouldn't like to have him on, you know?
No, it's... The brilliancy of hers comes from you wouldn't know what she would ask him.
Yeah, that's true.
I have no idea what she would ask him.
Something very strange, I'm sure. That would be so funny. I love that. Yeah, and I do like all these people going along with it. It's so funny.
It's very good.
It's ridiculous.
It's very good.
And the guy who's like so offended that guy could be scared by potatoes. No, of course not. He wouldn't be scared by potatoes. Yeah, it's really funny. I saw an interview with her the other day when someone was asking her, like, I forgot who it was with, does she like her persona? And she said that, because she gets to be rude to people, and that's what she usually wants to do.
I think I saw this interview too.
Yeah,
it wasn't with the Stephen Colbert?
It was, I think, yeah. And she said that, like, you know, this is what we can just literally tell people to shut up, and that's what she wants to do sometimes, but as Philomena, she gets to do it.
I like those moments when they admit that she's right about something, or that she has a good point, and she's like, oh, yeah, no problem.
Yeah, right? But I liked actually, speaking of that, I did like the question about the allergies. And I'm curious to find out. So if you know, let me know. Because are allergies a big, maybe I'm ignorant, but are they a bigger thing now because we are able to combat them and normally you would die because you had an allergy? Or are they a bigger thing also because of like how the world looks? I don't know, some kind of chemicals and what we eat and more mutations.
But what do you think that in the third world countries there is no peanut allergy?
I don't know. Is there? That's my question. That's what she asked.
Yeah.
I suppose it's not as a prevalent problem because if it's a really poor country...
they don't have peanuts.
Yeah, and also if it's a really poor country, you may have a variety of other diseases and it's likelier.
By the way, is peanut allergy for every peanut? Or just for some peanuts?
No, peanuts are peanuts. It's not like nuts. Peanuts are not nuts. They are legumes. They are the.
So peanuts are which one? The salty ones?
Yeah, the salty ones. The ones that you have in coatings sometimes.
The best ones.
The best ones, yes. But they're not actually nuts. Like a lot of the nuts, it annoys me because people are like, oh, these are not nuts. Yeah, but also other nuts are also not nuts, like cashew nuts or whatever. But yeah, peanuts are peanuts and then nuts are a different allergy.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for watching with us. This was a very funny video.
It was really funny. If you have any, like...
Yeah, but how can they recommend the videos of her that we haven't seen?
I don't know. Maybe it's something very recent than last time.
If we'll see something new, then maybe we'll react to it, but don't get your hopes too high.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, and leave us a like and comment and subscribe and anything that you
like. You need to enjoy what you have. You know, you can't always demand more. You can't always want more.
Who's demanding from you? Who's demanding from you?
No. I mean, like in life.
In
life, it's important, to settle with things. Because if you're a dreamer all your life, then you will never be happy. So, you need to be happy that we gave you this video, and you should be like, oh, now I am happy.
To be honest, if it was someone's dream that they react to Philomena Cunk, I would do it, even if I've already seen the videos. I can even act that I haven't, if it's your actual dream. I hope it's not, though, because there are better dreams to have.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.